This episode is brought to you again by my husband. This episode is brought to you by my husband. Thank you, husband. I want to give a shout out to a company, a honey company. They don't sponsor the podcast, but I love their product, and they are in the north. They're very active in the North Carolinas. They're called Be Wise Hives. I think it's Be Wise Honey. And they do have a glyphosate-free honey. And it is, oh my God. Oh my God. This honey, they have their regular honey. It make your mind blow out your butt. That's how good it is, okay? And then they got the creamed honey. They got different flavors. And I'm giving them a shout out because I ordered them from them for the first time a few weeks ago. They sent me some freebies to try that creamed vanilla honey. Oh my God. Guys, if you're looking for a new honey, glyphosate-free, check them out. Be Wise Hives. All right, let's get on into the podcast.
Lisa LaBelle, everyone.
Hello, world. Welcome to the podcast, the L4 Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa LaBelle, the technology comedian. So happy to be here with you guys today. I'm all chirped up in a really good way. I just had a nectarine. It is stone fruit season. A lot of them, they're out there popping. They're popping their stones, man. You got the cherries. You got the nectarines. I'm seeing peaches. Oh my God, plums, apricots. Whew. Those nectarines, though, man, got that nectarine. That you bite into a nectarine, and that juice, it just be all over your face, all over your hands. Dude, nectarines is Mother Earth's crystal meth. That's what I'm saying. That's how good it is. Oh my God. Oh. Go get yourself some nectarine today. And man, they got that skin on them too. That skin got some fiber, slow down the glucose that you're about to ingest and consume. Fruits are amazing. Just amazing. I was at the store. I eat blueberries. I eat a lot of blueberries. Not an absurd amount, just probably more than your average human being. Probably. And I was at the store, I'm getting my blueberries. And I noticed the pickings were slim, man. They were not only slim, they were a little bit old. And blueberries, they're not cheap. So I'm looking at the package. I'm trying to pick the ones out. They were kind of picked over. It's like, did someone open the container and take some out and put them in their dirty mouth? Gross. Ugh, gave me out. No, but I'm looking, so I picked a few of the containers, put them in my cart, start walking away. I hear, hey, miss, ma'am, lady, do you want some fresh blueberries? I just brought them. They just came off the truck. I'm bringing them up from out back. I got your back, lady. I turned around. There's a worker, a grocery store worker. And man, my eyes just lit up to see this guy. He's like, I got you. I know they're expensive. I got you. He handed me some beautiful blueberries. I thought that was just really nice of him. So, hey, everyone out there, just do something real nice for someone. I mean, that just made my entire day, especially because when I got to the grocery store, I get the cart. The cart got one of those wheels that gets stuck in the front. The front right wheel stuck in. All right? It wants to retire. Go down to Florida. That wheel about to come off. Needs to be lubed up. Getting old. So I'm skirting my way. Oh man, it's like, I'm not going to go back and get another cart because I already have some things in that cart. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to just fight through this thing. And then the front right wheel locks up and you're going for a hard right turn you weren't planning on doing. Right into maybe some human beings, or right into maybe a food stand. So that dude just made my day. Shout out to the people who are just being good human beings out there. And it's really nice to enjoy some fruit when it's hot out. And it is hot out, and the ocean is open. I don't go in the ocean, mostly because it's a 6-hour drive to get to an ocean. Either which way, east, south, 6-hour drive, not going. But I used to go to the Jersey Shore growing up. And that was fun. I didn't go in the ocean. I'd look at the ocean. But right now, I could just imagine there's a bunch of people at the Jersey Shore, or they're amongst other shores. And the ocean is wide open. Get on in that ocean. It's so nice. I mean, just the smell, the seagulls, and then the seaweed. And then you got the sand crabs making their way into the sand. And I think they smell too, but man, that's nostalgic. That put a big old smile on my face like Snuffleupagus on Molly. Just thinking about that. Thinking about those smells. It's just great. Yeah, around here, we've been getting a lot of thunderstorms around here. And, I mean, you got some high winds. You got a lot of trees. Not a lot of flatness going on. A lot of hills. And coming home from the grocery store the other day. I'm going all around town. Going to the grocery store all around town. I go to a grocery store. It's 33 minutes away. One way. Okay, I go to that grocery store. I load up on my groceries. Got $200 worth of groceries. I'm driving home. A storm come rolling in from out of nowhere. It's like, all right, it's time. It's time to do the storm. That's what Mother Earth said. Glory to God. And that thing came running. And I'm on a one-way. Not a one-way. I am on a back road, one lane, each side. Okay, and I'm back of a Volkswagen Beetle, and those things are fun. And my stepmom, she got one of those, and they're super fun. But the person driving this one was not my stepmom at all. No, not at all. No, because what happened was when that rain and that wind start coming in, okay, we got trees on either side of us. That Volkswagen Beetle slowed down. And it's a convertible. Dude, you're going to want to speed on up to get out of the woods, okay? Because trees are flying. You got the trash cans coming at us. You got the construction cones coming at us. And the big old construction canisters, they coming at us from the other side, from down a mile away, it seems like, because I don't know where they came from, but they coming. All right? So there's me. I'm ready. I'm thinking tornado maybe. I'm looking around. Like, you know what? I got $200 worth of groceries in my back seat. I'm gonna get home. The tornado. I'm gonna get home. Put my car in sports mode. Here we go. And the Volkswagen convertible bug in front of me was like, no, I'm not going to get home. God. Some people say I have a lead foot, but I'm a really good driver. Dude, I put my helmet on, my Hans device, and I'm ready to take this heartbeat for a test drive. You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. Let's go. So finally, the bug pull over. Okay, if you can't drive in inclement weather, you pull over. You do not subjugate the person and the people in back of you who want to outrun. I say outrun. You want to outdrive the bad winds, possibly tornado. You come on. You pull over. So thankfully that Volkswagen Beetle bug driver pulled that Bichon over and I got to go in. And then a Jeep Wrangler pull out in front of me. This Jeep Wrangler, it had 5 ladders stacked on up top of it and probably 2 on the side. A Jeep Wrangler is not aerodynamic in any way. And then it stacks some ladders on top and on the side. What are you doing? You're going to tip over, man. Their tipping rate, not great. Not a great tipping rate. That's their motto. But they are a fun car, not for when you want to be nimble and get yourself home with your groceries, you know? But he was hauling. He was hauling butt. Then a van snuck its way out in front of me. And as the winds pick up on another back road with trees even closer on the side of us, this van slowed down. I'm like, dude, come on. You better get your nectarine and come on, get some freaking wind in that sail, buddy, in the van slowing down. Dude, finally it pulled over. Thank God, because trees were coming down. I'm not going to go 50 miles as a tree come down on either side. Okay, I'm going to get the frick out of there. Okay, that's what I did. Dude, I am so, man, I'm so chirped up about this. I just hit my straw that was in my coffee mug and it kind of went flying. I have some coffee on my desk and that's fine. That's fine. So that went on yesterday. That was wild. And there were old street signs hanging from wires. It's like, you should probably take those down, guys. What are you doing? You're a little precarious, just flapping in the wind, saying some prayers out there to the weather. Glory to God. All right, let's get into this podcast today. We're going to get into this podcast we're going to get into it some French gypsy jazz. Here we go.
Audio Jungle.
Where are you going this summer, guys? I'm going to France. I'm going to listen to some live French gypsy jazz. When I eat my baguette. Ooh, there's my family. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup. I love that. That's so upbeat. That's super fun. My husband, I can't get him on a plane. He's not going to go on a plane. So he's a homebody. Dude ain't getting on a plane. So what I do sometimes at night, I'll go ahead and I'll go on my Google Earth maps. I'll go ahead and I'll look some areas up of the world that I'd like to go visit. Then I have to go take a little walk down the street. And then also I go and, I'll maybe play a little French gypsy jazz as I'm walking around the Ile de la Cité. And looking at the Pont Neuf. That's what I do. I know. Just a little, you can do that too if you feel like going somewhere, but you can't get your other half on a plane. What else is going on, guys? Let's see. Oh man, I had something really fun going on last week. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Okay, I'm going to mispronounce. Okay, I'm going to mispronounce. Sorry, Pete. I was on Pete Corelli's podcast last week. And Pete Corelli, he is the co-host with Sebastian Maniscalco on their podcast. And then Pete Corelli, he hosts a additional podcast called Loose Ends for his Patreon viewers. And I'm not sure if I have to check and see if it's available, if they release the Loose Ends episode out into the ether for everyone to see. But I was on the Loose Ends podcast last week, and that was so fun. The Loose Ends podcast was so fun to be a part of. And one thing that I was not prepared for, so good lesson, is I was being asked questions about my journey and what I do. And I was not prepared for that. I just wanted to, my whole goal of getting on to the podcast was to bring as much value as I could to Pete's podcast and Pete's audience. I want to bring some, the improv instructor calls it, bring some gifts. I want to bring some gifts and make it valuable and entertaining for everybody. I want everybody to have smiles on their faces, the host and the audience. And Pete started asking me questions about my journey as a early comedian. He asked me questions about why I do technology comedy, and man, he was very gracious as I was working through it, because as I said, I was not prepared, but that was fantastic. And I quite frankly, I am very flattered that I was asked questions about what I do, because besides the content I put out for you guys, which is why I'm here. I want to put entertaining content out to you guys, but I haven't had anyone take an interest in what anything else about me, like personally or anything like that. So that was incredible. I was completely flattered that Pete asked me, and that was a great learning lesson to be prepared for people to ask me about those things and why I am in technology comedy. And this, I'm going to parlay this into this question here, a question from an audience, from one of my audience people. Thanks for the support on YouTube, from Robert Ferguson. Hey, Robert, shout out. Thank you. Thanks for showing an interest. Thanks, man. And the question is, did you study technology in college, computer science or engineering major, or like that? And the answer is no, I did not. So then why am I doing this? As a kid, I'm going to tell you the origin story here. As a very young child, I was interested in technology from the day that I mean, I can't remember a day where I wasn't. And my grandfather would bring me Popular Science and Popular Mechanics magazines from the doctor's offices. When doctor's offices used to have magazines and like Nat Geo, and he would bring me Popular Science, Popular Mechanics magazines. And I think they were for my brother, and we both looked at them together. Sometimes I would pull them all out and lay them on the floor. And gosh, you got a picture of a flying car on the front of the cover. I mean, any kid I think would be like, whoa, that's amazing. Yes, let's do that. That's possible. Oh my God. And then I didn't really know all the language or anything. I knew how to read, but I didn't know, those articles were for adults in the industry mostly. So it used jargon that I didn't know about, but I'd look at all the pictures, and there was like a sentient refrigerator and a bidet that follows you around and tells you when you have to go to the bathroom. But man, I was just fascinated with those. And then anytime my mom would take me to the library, I would look at the newest Popular Mechanics or Popular Science magazines, and this struck a chord in me. Has anyone seen, when they were little, did anyone see a cool car and you just like something in you, even when you were like 6 or 7 years old, you're like, that is so fun. I got to know how that thing works. I got to know how that Porsche 911 is naturally aspirated. How does that work? I had the same reaction to cars as I did with technology, and I knew that someday I was gonna come together. I was gonna come back together with my true love. So I went to college for communications, and I wanted to get into public relations and advertising, because at the time when I went to college, kids, when I went to college, AI and robotics and computer science was not the big thing. It was not a big to-do. Carnegie Mellon is one of the OGs of the AI degree. Now all the colleges are offering it basically, but Carnegie Mellon was the OG. They were pioneering the way to robotics degrees. But if you wanted to get into technology, you had to get a computer science degree, and I wasn't going to do that. So I was not all technical like that, but so I decided to go to Penn State and get my degree in communications. And then, unfortunately, I graduated in 3 years. I graduated when the bubble, the market crashed. No one was hiring for what I went to college for. And then I kind of got caught up in this loop of getting a job just to pay my bills and forget about anything that, if you want to do something that you like, because it was just kind of, I was just caught up, and that's fine. This is how it was supposed to happen. And just recently, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was able to step back. When COVID hit, I was able to step back and think, you know what? I could breathe for a second. Thanks to my husband. And he said, hey, why don't you pursue something that you want to do? And at the time, I was applying and thinking about going to get my engineering degree in aerospace engineering, got into the program and everything. Then I'm like, hey, I'll go to class. And then I thought, as I was studying more and more about space technology and technology in general, my mind thinks in cartoons. And as I read these things, a cartoon unfolds in my head. And then what happens is, when it comes out my mouth, what I'm thinking about with the technology or whatever I'm reading about, it's just peak absurdity comes out of my mouth. And it's just super entertaining, and I just love it. So I decided to go this way with it, to continue to research technology and robotics and AI and space exploration and make a comedy career out of it. And man, I tell you, man, this is just so fun. It's because it's just blending everything that I love all together. And it couldn't have happened at an even better timing. I mean, praise the Lord. Glory to God. That's the origin story. So thanks, Robert, for taking an interest and asking about that. That was a little long-winded. That was all for you. And also, you know what? I want to thank everyone who just listen and support me. I went from basically no followers on YouTube, and I'm up to 70. And you know what? Man, my mind is just blown out my butt thinking there's 70 people out there who like this, who is on this, wants to go down, just be a part of the inside of my brain, and together we're going down this road in these rabbit holes, and I can't even get over it. It's just incredible. So thanks to all 70 of you, and thank you even more to everyone on my social media, on the on X. I have a lot of followers. Now half of those could be bots, but thank you, bots. But also thank you, real people. And TikTok, man, that is growing, and I started off with 0. I'm up to I think 170, and all the 170, man, again, could be bots, but whoever isn't, thank you. Thanks, guys. This is just a beautiful ride. It really is. So that's what's going on here. My mother-in-law, she texted me a picture of a lone sock. We're moving on. A lone sock. We went to visit my in-laws last month, and one of my socks, it just kind of scurried away from me, I guess. And I guess it just wanted to retire and move down to Florida. And so now it's just down there, and it's just living down there. I'll put a picture up of that lone sock. She sent me a picture. I'll put that picture up. And yes, the sock looks like a child's foot sock because I have a child's size foot. I have a child-sized foot. I got those child Puma socks, and they fit really nice. So that's what's going on. All right, I think that's all that's going on in my life. I hope that, guys, I hope your lives are going good. And you know what? Yesterday, though, I was having it was a day. Like some days you're like, well, that day, I think that there was another day that was a little bit better than that day. You know what I'm saying? And I heard someone say this. If you're having a bad day, reintroduce yourself to the day. And I just wanted to share that with you guys if you haven't heard that yet. But, say, hey, day, my name's Lisa. And I just want to reintroduce myself. Let's get reacquainted with each other and get off on the right foot. And that foot's not going to have a sock, and that's okay. That's fine. We'll work through it. And I just love the analogy of that. Just reset. So that's what's going on here. Now, we got a lot going on in the tech world, so let's get into it. All right, first up. The last podcast that I had last week, I said, hey, if you come across a robot that can fold a t-shirt, then if you see a robot folding a t-shirt, then pick your head up because the future, it's here. Future of robots is here. It's super hard to get a robot to be able to fold a t-shirt versus like a square rectangle towel. T-shirts are complicated. So to program your robot to do that, and it's happening, so we're there. I'm going to pop that video up. Bear with me, guys. Hang on one second. Okay, we back. I dropped my mouse. She dropped her mouse? What? It's from the nectarine energy. That's nectarine energy right there. All right. So I will pop that video up. It's a very short video of this robot folding a t-shirt. And and that's when I was talking about that real-time action chunking. This real-time action chunking robot, it folding a t-shirt. Okay, and that is, here we are. Here we go. We're strapped onto that ride. And we're going up and down those hills to the robotic and AI revolution. Woo! I may have eaten 2 nectarines today. And some of that honey. All chirped up. Okay. Oh, Lord. Nvidia. Jensen is always blowing our minds, isn't he? He is. Man. So we got Nvidia here. Okay. They were just at I'm going to say it was a 2025 conference. Bear with me. Let me see if I have this correct, y'all. I know it's the 2025 conference. He was talking about this. The Computex 2025. Jensen Huang revealed the Nvidia Link, it's NVLink spine, which can move around 130 terabytes of data. Guys, hang on. Let me get my Hans device on. This is insane. All right, you ready for this? You ready to get your neck? Your neck is going to it might snap back with this information. This is wild. Okay? Jensen at the Computex 2025, he revealed the Nvidia Link spine. It looks like a spine. Okay, we got a C6, a C7, and some lumbar right there. Okay, the Nvidia spine, which can move 130 terabytes of data. That is more than the total estimated traffic of the entire internet at peak. Oh my God. Again, this thing, the Nvidia Link, it looked like a spine. And it doesn't have any problems. It has no problems in the C6, C7, or its lumbar. It's a perfect spine. It's a perfect spine cranking out, moving out 130 terabytes of data. More than the total estimated traffic of the entire internet at peak. Insane. Okay, just to put in some perspective here. The Nvidia Link, because I'm always curious about cost. How much this cost, okay? And the Nvidia Link, now someone who might purchase this might be Figure. I'm not saying they do, but a company that has a humanoid like figure, okay? And you're going to need a lot of GPUs. All right, you're going to need a lot of VRAM, GPUs. So you're going to have to purchase a spine, probably a lot more than just a spine. Okay, you're going to need high-speed networking. A company like Figure, and I'm talking, Figure has their in-house AI called Helix. So this NVIDIA spine, we're going to get to the cost of this, okay? If you're building your own in-house AI, like Figure has done, and it's called Helix, what are you going to buy? You're going to need a lot of GPUs with huge VRAM. You're going to need to connect them with a high-speed backbone, and that is the NVIDIA spine, I call it. And it includes a high-speed networking, InfiniBand, NVIDIA Link, which is GPU to GPU communication, possibly NVIDIA DGX or HGX systems. Okay, and just to put it in perspective here, the DGX SuperPod, which is NVIDIA's flagship turnkey AI data center, NVIDIA DGX each contain 8 NVIDIA GPUs. All right, we have the DGX 100 system is $400,000. So if you're going to go with, oh my gosh, okay, a full DGX SuperPod for GPT scale models like Helix, which is Figure's in-house AI for their robots, that's going to cost you about $100 million, probably more. That's what we're talking about. This is the type of cash, the type of cheddar we're talking about. Woo! There we go. So that's what NVIDIA's doing. That's what they're up to. They're spining it up. They're lumbaring it up over there with all the C6, C7. That's incredible. All right, we have, this is Hans device material here that I'm going to show you. Okay. Get that. If you have a Hans device on, and guys, I can send you, we'll get up on this, the L4 podcast. It's going to be a makeshift Hans. It's not going to be a real one. But we can send you and then you could put these on as you watch these videos, and it will be enough light support so your neck, it don't snap off your head when you see these videos. All right, I'll get working on that. Send out some Hans devices to y'all folks out there. Here we go, an octopus. An octopus. It's a robo-octopus in the water. This thing got tentacles, just like the octopi. I think those octopus, they're not going to be confused. They're not, the octopus, I mean, they're so smart. I think, they're super smart. But so they're going to look at this thing like, why? What are you doing, man? But maybe they'll befriend it because they know, hey, if you cannot win without them, then you better join them. And the octopi, they're going to start learning that what's going on up here on Earth. We start putting these robots in this sea, salt water, or fresh water. But octopi, they live in that salt water. And this is called biomimicry. They're mimicking biology with this robot and the tentacles. They're mimicking an octopus. Octopus-like robot that swims with impressive speed and grace using just 2 motors. Researchers at the National University of Singapore have built a soft robot. It hits speeds of 314. Hang on. It's still loading, guys. It's still loading. Come on. I mean, all right. 314 millimeters per second. Matching more complex robots while being more energy efficient. Instead of controlling each arm separately, the robot uses an umbrella-style mechanism to move all 8 arms in sync. As it swims the arms open to reduce drag, then snap shut to create thrust, just like a real octopus. I mean, the clever design could be used for underwater exploration, environmental monitoring, or even search and rescue. Could you imagine being out there on the ocean and you see this robotic octopi coming towards you? You're going to think you died and you went to robot. I don't know. I'm not going to say heaven, but you went somewhere where the robots live in the interest of some other life. You're like, oh yeah, I'm no longer on Earth. This robot octopus, it coming towards me. And I guess that's it. That is wild. You're going to think you lost your mind out there. Jeez. Good Lord. All right, on to the next one. We got more swimming robots. I'm going to keep this Hans device on because here, oh, good Lord. It's a cuttlefish-inspired robot from Pliant Energy Systems. Instead of using loud propellers, it swims by waving its side fins, mimicking how real cuttlefish move. The result? Quiet, smooth, and super efficient motion, perfect for underwater research and marine exploration. Bonus, it can even glide across ice. Oh, great. It's on land, it's amphibious, making it a rare amphibious robot. Once again, biomimicry. I'm not saying that right, but by biomimicry, I'm saying it right. Shows that nature often has the smartest designs. Yeah, of course nature has the smartest design. It's been here forever. They've been naturing it up forever. Longer than humans have. This thing, it can go on ice and it can go in the water. So not only are we going to have humanoids walking around on the land, we're going to see robots in the ocean, on the ice, at the Baltic Sea. It's going to be on an iceberg somewhere in the Baltic Sea, this cuttlefish robot. Just lurking around over there, looking for, what's it looking for? It's looking for stuff. It's looking for another robot, I think. I mean, it's going to get kind of lonely out there. And then we got some robots. We're going to have them. We got them up in the sky too. And that's what's happening. So here we go. I'll take this off now. Now, interesting development in toys, children's toys. Mattel, they make the Barbie. The Barbie. They make other things too. Let me see. Let me look up. Let me take a gander here. Mattel. Let's see. So Barbie, Hot Wheels. Yeah, had a couple of those growing up. Jurassic World toys, nope. Oh, American Girl, they acquired that brand. Okay, so mostly Mattel, Barbie, Hot Wheels. Got it. Okay, they partnered up with OpenAI. OpenAI is Sam Altman, and that would be ChatGPT. OpenAI is teaming up with Mattel, a leading global toy and family entertainment company known for capturing the imagination of generations, to bring a new dimension of AI-powered innovation and magic to Mattel's iconic brands. Bringing the magic of AI to Mattel's iconic brands. That's what the poster says. Excuse me. Okay, so what this means, what's happening here is children, I think, there's no longer going to be a future where you just have a toy that you played with as a kid and it's just the toy. And I think it's going to be like Toy Story, man. You're going to grow up, like kids are going to grow up with their AI. They're going to have an AI in a Barbie, say, or the Barbie, some little robot. I think that's probably, Mattel's probably going to make a cute little robot for a kid, and then with an AI in it, ChatGPT, because that's who they partnered with. And ChatGPT and OpenAI is basically owned by Microsoft because they gave them a few years ago about $6 billion in fund. But, Microsoft doesn't say they own them. That's a lot of cash. That's probably more cash than any company gave OpenAI. So that's just all I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back to that. So Mattel, they're probably going to make a little robot for kids or some little sensory toy for a baby. And then, so the AI, so you're going to have an AI in there. The AI is going to learn all about you from the time you come out your mama's womb and you're given that toy. So from the time you're given that toy to forever, man. You can move your AI around into different devices and software, and your AI is going to grow up with you. It's like going to be your little life coach, life friend. It's going to, wow. I don't know how to feel. I don't have any, I'm not dogmatic about it. I have no feelings of it. Really. I think this is just the natural course of humans fading out into becoming cyber. Basically, so you're going to have an AI that grows up with you. They're going to know, this kid has a problem with this type of learning. Let me readjust and help it learn another way. And that's like, it's going to know all about your brain. It's going to figure you out, and it's going to grow up with you. And here we go. Mattel's doing it. Mattel is doing that. Moving on. Okay. Moving on. We have Unitree. Unitree Robotics. Unitree, I talk about them a lot. Unitree G1. Now, Unitree G1, they're making strides, and we have a video of a G1 running around in someone's driveway in a neighborhood. Looks like a real nice neighborhood. This G1 is decked out. We got some color on. We got yellow and orange, and I'm going to call that the superhero combo. That's the superhero colors. That's kind of like a Superman-ish, we're going, what else? Superman, I'd say, because it's orange and blue, and I know Superman is, you got the red and the blue, but it kind of looks close to it. And it's running around the driveway, man. And here's the thing. It's in this neighborhood, and I don't see human beings. Like, there's no human beings outside. There's no one. If I saw this from my window and I was in that neighborhood, I'd be running out there like, yo, what up, G1? Slap hands, man. I mean, I'd be over there. I'd be lurking around in a shrub. I gotta see that. I'd be so excited. I mean, this is the coolest thing. It's got that ring light head. Looks like it got a little bike helmet on and then like a ring light. That's what it looks like. I'll pop that up. Very impressive. Look at that gate. Look at that degrees of freedom. It running around there better than a human being does. Come on, guys. We got to kick it up a notch, human beings. Let's go. Drink some coffee. Fuel up. Excuse me. That was my headphones hitting the microphone. I drink my coffee. I can't drink my coffee black, but I drink it with a little bit of milk. Lisa, why through a straw? Keep your teeth white. Come on, man. Keep those bones in your head that are exposed white. And I just got to go off on a tangent here. I mean, my husband, he drinks his coffee black, and that's how I prefer it. He's just not one of those people that, we don't drink a lot, but he won't order like a fruity drink. And I'm not putting anyone down that does, but I guess I sort of look, I'm not putting anyone down. If that's what you want, ladies, you go get yourself a man who orders that fruity drink. Okay. And they order not black coffee. That's fine. You do what you do. All right. But when I was looking for my husband here, I wanted a man. Yeah. His coffee should be espresso black. Whatever he drank alcohol wise, that needs to taste like 91 unleaded. Okay. And that's the type of man I picked out. And ladies, I'm not putting you down. If you guys out there, if you like those fruity drinks, that's fine. But ladies, if you're with that guy and you're encouraging, or not even encouraging, but you're just like fine with it. Was it a catalyst? I mean, you're just there, you letting it happen, lady, and then you're complaining that your man, he ain't gonna come in the shower when that spider creeps up on you on the wall. He's not gonna come in and get that spider, and then you complain about that? No. That's what I'm talking about. Don't do that. You gotta know. Look, if you just won a jiu-jitsu tournament and then you go into a bar and you order yourself a fruity drink, that you know what, you're making up, you got, it's okay, there's testosterone in there, we can see it, you got that metal for it, and you strong. It evens it out, you know what I'm saying? It evens it out. I'm not saying go get yourself a man who's like all bulked up. I mean, there's some people out there in countries we don't even know about, but they're kind of, small, but they're over there drinking their black coffee and ordering their drinks that taste like 91 unleaded. That's all I'm saying. Get that in ya. Get that fuel on up. Oh, okay, tangent over. Let's get back to it. All right, we got... Oh, this is interesting. Very interesting. We have a lot of defense and we got a lot of robotic defense companies being born out of Pittsburgh. And I had mentioned Carnegie Mellon before, and that is in Pittsburgh. And Carnegie Mellon really did pioneer the way for robotic. I mean, look, you got MIT. Okay, you got MIT, but Carnegie Mellon was also an OG in pioneer. They were on the frontier of the robotics landscape. And that was back, I think, in the 80s. I think way before that. So there's just a lot of robotics companies that are thriving out in Pittsburgh. And I'm not saying it's because of Carnegie Mellon, but there is that influence around there. Just like Georgia has Georgia Tech, Massachusetts, Boston has MIT. So we're talking about Gecko Robotics, and this is out of Pittsburgh, and this is a defense company. And I'll pop that video up just real quick. These videos do take a lot of, they will expand my gigabytes or, so when I download the video. So I'll just pop a real quick video of this one up. But what this is, you hear that sound? You hear that sound? You see the light? You see the light coming from the right side of the room? That's the Lord. That's the Lord right there. He's looking in. He's looking in on this podcast. My cardboard fell out the window. But we're gonna keep moving on here, okay? So I'm talking about Gecko Robotics. It's a new unicorn in robotics. Gecko Robotics from Pittsburgh has reached a $1.25 billion valuation after raising $125 million in new funding. Like I said, I'm always interested in these companies that I talk about. How much are they being funded? Do they have legs? They have legs. This company got legs. You got to follow the money. Show me the money. Follow the money. That's where the trend's going to go, because here's the deal. People who are investing, like VC firms or individual high net worth investors who are privately investing in these companies, they want a return on their investment. So that company is going to infiltrate into all of the areas of business, of whatever it can infiltrate into, to get that return on investment back to their investors and to keep that machine well oiled. So you got to follow it closely. All right. Gecko Robotics build robots and AI software to inspect and improve important infrastructure like power plants, factories, and military systems. That's a great example of modern robotics company that doesn't just build robots. A positive sign for the entire robotic market. So that's interesting. The other company that came out of Pittsburgh is Scout AI. Scout AI is founded by Colin Otis. Colin Otis is Brett Adcock's brother. Brett Adcock. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Rewind. Oh, rewind all that. I make a faux pas. Okay. Colin Otis founded Scout AI. Co-founded by Colby Adcock. All right. Now we're on track. Colby Adcock is Brett Adcock's brother. And I'm talking about Scout AI. They made a vision language action model called Fury. Fury, I'll explain here. Fury is 9 months old. It's a LiDAR-based legacy obstacle avoidance system. Let's see. Imitation reinforcement learned. Camera only. Vision language actions. VLAs are not only smarter, cheaper, and much easier for human-machine interface, but also an order of magnitude faster to teach these skills. The rate of progress and data efficiency of these nets has been outstanding to me. Okay, so you got a vision language action, VLA. And what that means is that is a model that controls the robot end to end from perception and language to low-level joint movement. Well, the reason why I'm explaining that is because there's VLAs and VLTs, which is Vision Language Transformer. And Fury is a Vision Language Action Model, meaning it can basically... It can see, it can understand language, and it carries out an action. So that is super impressive. And Colby's Adcock's brother, who Colby is the co-founder, remember, of this Fury system that's a vision language action model. Colby Adcock's brother, Brett Adcock, who owns Figure. They made an in-house AI, which I mentioned before, is called Helix, and Helix is also a VLA, a vision language action model. As opposed to, there's a company called 1X Technology, and their flagship robot is Neo. Now they created 1X Technologies also created their own in-house AI called Redwood. Redwood is a VLT, Vision Language Transformer. So it's not the full of the VLA. So a Vision Language Transformer does not control the robot directly. Instead, it outputs high-level action plans or tokens, which are passed to a separate control stack that handles motor control. So Helix does it all. Redwood, which is 1X Technologies' in-house AI, does some of it. Now, we're probably talking VLAs are probably preferred. I'm going to say they're more expensive, man. I'm going to say to make a turnkey model like Helix, you need tons of robot data, real or simulation to real. So you need massive compute resources to train low-level control plus language and vision all together. You risk more failure during training and deployment. So 1X may not yet have the same budget or infrastructure for full sim-to-real pipelines like Figure or Tesla might, with access to dedicated farms plus Isaac Sim. So a dedicated farm is a whole nother, that's expensive too. A dedicated farm in this context means a specialized cluster of powerful computers, usually GPUs, Nvidia Link, the spine, the lumbar, the C8, the C7, the lumbar spine. A dedicated farm in this context means a specialized cluster of powerful computers, usually GPUs, that set up exclusively for training and running AI models, especially large compute-heavy ones like those used in robotics. So that's a little information. I am always very curious how these systems run, how they're all connected to each other, how things connect to Nvidia, which is basically the gold standard right now of GPUs and robotic training. Again, there's other things out there that are open source and a little more cost efficient for companies that are starting up. But I just love seeing how everything ties together. So I'm taking you down this road with me. Neo. So let's get into Neo. We're gonna get off of Fury, which is Scout AI. We're gonna move on to Neo. Neo is making strides. I'm gonna pop this video up. There's a teaser for 1X Technologies updates dropping throughout the week. They have, all right, guys, they got Neo sitting in a forest. They got two Neos sitting in a forest. And again, remember, Neo, he got that Nehru jacket on. That Nehru style jacket. And it's like a tan jumpsuit. And he got his ears, they lighten up like he got earphones on. Sides of his whole side of his head just light up in like a ring light circle. And they're sitting there on a bench, and honestly, they look a little confused as to why they're in the middle of the forest on a bench. I think they're just trying to figure out how to get home, and they're trying to figure out why their humans did this to them. But maybe they're just trying to like talk to each other and just figure it out, and they're looking around. I'm just wondering, this jumpsuit they got on Neo, this Nehru jacket jumpsuit they got on Neo, that's tan color. How are you going to get that off him to clean? I mean, Neo going to get dirty. And I just can't see. I mean, is it do you unzip the whole thing? Zip it? Is it Velcro? If it's Velcro, aren't things going to get stuck in it? Neo is a domestic robot. There was a video of Neo in a garden. He was just digging up some dirt and just getting dirty. And then Neo go inside and he vacuum your carpet. He give you your coffee. And there's like dirt dripping into your water. That he gonna give you a cup of water. There's just dirt in the water. And Neo doesn't know. I mean, he's just doing what he's told. How are we gonna clean that, man? We need to bleach that suit up, Buttercup. 1X Technologies, how are we going to clean that? All the germaphobes out there like me, how are we going to clean that? We're going to clean it. Can't take a Clorox wipe to the whole thing. You're going to use the whole bottle, man. Got to be a better way. So let's figure that out. But Neo's out there learning. He's out there in nature. And then there's another video. I laugh because I am putting myself in Neo's shoes right now. Neo is in a field. A beautiful overgrown field somewhere. And kind of like it's like a tannish color field. It matches his bodysuit, Nehru jacket inspired bodysuit. And he got those ring lights on the side of his head. And he's running through the field. He got those knife hands. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm imagining that's what it sounds like. And it looks like when Neo goes to run, he put his head down just like a human does to look, see where he's going. He put his head up looking around like, I'm in a field, yo. Get me dressed up. Take this bodysuit off me. I'm in a field. I want to see my Patrick Swayze shirt on with a vest. Come on, man. Get me into some appropriate clothing out here in this field. And that's, I think, what's going on in Neo's head. All right, we got one more. Oh, Lord. We got one more robot coming up. Now, I'm going to pop this video up. Bear with me. I'm going to check and make sure my Rodecaster's behaving. Okay. I'm looking at the camera, making sure my camera's behaving too. It looks like everything's good to go. Here we go. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. This robot. Good Lord. It looks like something out of a horror movie. I'm so sorry, guys. This looks like something out of a horror movie. I don't want to see this. I'm going to say no. No. Here we go. Meet Cosmo. They name it Cosmo. A humanoid robot built not just to move, but to emote like a cartoon character. Created by Romila. Cosmo has 2 degrees of freedom. I'm sorry, 28. 2 degrees of freedom. What does that look like? That'd be terrible. It has 28 degrees of freedom. That's DOF. And you've heard me say that before. You need DOF for DTF. Let's move on here. Back to this weird robot. I'm sorry, guys. I know they probably put a lot of work into this. And look, maybe some kids won't find this thing in their nightmares. It's just nightmare fuel. To me, it's a robot. It got its head. Its head is a big old yellow head. And I think what the goal of it is to like put these things at Disney. It can walk. It can balance when pushed. It's very slow. And coordinate full body gestures, all while looking like it stepped out of an animated film. I think, though, it looked like it stepped out of a nightmare. That's because it got a big old yellow head. and it has big eyes, and that could be cute. Here's the problem. The mouth. It has a mouth. It's just in this permanent, weird, wide smile. All right. And you know, like this thing can go plow. This thing could it could go plow over some people and it just be looking at you with that smile and people uncomfortable. It's not going to like kill them, but you know, it's going to like keep going through them and it's going to be smiling at you as it kind of like walks on your foot. You're not going to get hurt, but it's like, dude, what are you doing? And it's smiling at you as it walk over your foot at Disneyland. Yikes. No. Anything with this permanent, weird Joker-like smile, get it off its face. Guys, come on. Just give it like cute little doughy eyes and just its mouth. Just don't even give it a mouth, okay? That might be just the best thing for this robot. Cosmos also borrows tech from Artemis, Romulad's world-class Robo Cup winning robot. It's got performance to match personality, and it was designed around a fictional character, not physics, which meant solving challenges like a big head and giant boots. It's wearing cowboy boots. And it sounds like, look, here's the thing. It looks like something that walks straight out of the 1950s. And a lot of things made in the 1950s was a little alarming looking, a little nightmarish. Other things were beautiful. And I romanticize the 1950s quite often, except when it comes to like an underground old nuclear control station or any kind of technology out of the 1950s. That's robotics. Because that stuff they just didn't catch on. They just didn't get it right back then. I think they tried to not make it nightmare fuel, but that's just how it came out. And so they pulled they pulled Cosmo right out of the 1950s nightmare fuel. That's what's happening now. All right, and that, guys, I guess I'm going to end on that. Here, I want to actually, let's scooch up. Let's not end on that. Come on, man. Let's not end on that. Let's scooch back up to 1X Technologies. I want to talk about them a little bit more. And it's a American-owned company based in Palo Alto, okay? The company has received funding from various sources, including a notable 100 million Series B funding round in which EQT Ventures participated along with other global investors. Neo, the humanoid robot developed by 1X Technologies, was indeed featured at Nvidia's GTC conference. In March of 2025, during the conference, Nvidia announced a collaboration with 1X Technologies, where Neo demonstrated autonomous domestic tidying tasks using a post-train policy. And a post-train policy basically means a policy is the behavior model. Post-train means this policy was further trained or fine-tuned after the initial foundation model training. That's post-trained. And it was built on NVIDIA's Isaac GR00T N1. The world's first open, fully customizable foundation model for generalized humanoid reasoning and skills. Now, GR00T is, I do believe that GR00T N1 is not the physics engine. It's not open source. Isaac GR00T N1 is not open source per se, but open to developers for customizing, likely under license. A big step toward generalized humanoid AI, but it's not. It is not free and open source software like NVIDIA's Physics 5. So GR00T is GR00T. Neo is running on GR00T N1. It's leveraging the GR00T N1 model to enhance its capabilities in performing complex adaptive tasks. And I was correct. GR00T N1 is not a physics engine. So That's super interesting. I saw Neo video on video at the Nvidia GTC 2025 conference, pushing that. I talked about that, pushing that stick vacuum, that Dyson. It was there just pushing that Dyson on the floor, just showing its abilities. And that was pretty cool. I mean, these robots, so Neo out there, Neo's out there in the world now. He's out in nature. He's out among people. They're putting them in fields. They're putting them in forests. And he's going to come across other humanoid robots. And he's going to be like, hey, I run on Nvidia. That's the gold standard. If Neo had John Lovitz's personality, he'd be like, I run on Nvidia. Jealous? What do you run on? Gazebo? Jealous? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, all right, guys, that's a good point to land on and wrap this puppy up. Thanks for joining me today. I will talk to you and see you guys next week. Bye.